El Salvador and Honduras volcanoes, cinder cones, and volcanic fields. We're going to start with Apaneca Range. And the stratovolcano, caldera, and lava dome. The Apaneca Range is also known as the Cayuzel Range, and it consists of an elongated group of roughly east to west trending basaltic to andesitic, Pleistocene, and Holocene stratovolcanoes in western El Salvador, between Santa Ana and Guatemala border. The 5 by 3.5 kilometer wide Pleistocene dacitic rhyolitic Concepcion de Ataco caldera lies at the western end of the complex, along with post-caldera late Pleistocene to Holocene dacitic lava domes. The post-caldera cones of the Sierra El Aguila at 2,036 meters, the highest peak of the complex. The Cerro La Naranjos volcano at the eastern end of the chain were mapped by Holocene by Weber and Weissman in 1978. Young craters on basaltic Laguna Verde stratovolcano may also have been active during Holocene. Numerous fumarole fields are located on the northern flank of the range. An Ahucapan geothermal field has been producing since 1975. Several small hydrothermal explosions have occurred in historical time, including one in October 1990 at the Gua Shuka thermal area, in which 26 people were killed. So this is the area here, and we're going to see if we have a view from the lake. Sometimes we do, but on this one, well, we do. Huh. Okay, so we're going to go over, I'm going to say we'll go right here. We'll see if we can get a view here. My little Pac-Man. Here we go. Sorry guys, my chair might be a little squeaky. So we're not going to look there, but we want to see this little lake here. So there we have a view from inside. And now we're moving on to the next one, which is a Pasta Peak volcanic field. Now if you look over to this area here, you're going to see dome. And this here is crater. You can see another one here. There's a few of them. This is Oyo Caldera here, and this is Calderitas. So let's see if we get a view here. Sometimes we do and sometimes we don't. And that little guy doesn't have a view here. This is in El Salvador, Central America. The volcanic field is 8 kilometers north of a small town in central El Salvador called San Vincent. The last eruption of the volcano is unknown. However, scientists have concluded that it was around 10,000 years ago. This is a good view here. Okay, our next one is Chingo. This is Chingo here. Chingo is a stratovolcano on the border between Guatemala and El Salvador. Now, if I remember correctly, We have a view from the top here. People. Oops. Let's get away from the people. Okay, here we go. Here's our view. Get a view of the valley, and then you can see over here in the distance. We have some cones out here. There's one there. We're moving on to the next one, which is Cerro Sinotepki. And this is a volcanic field and is the largest and most prominent of a group of 4 pyroclastic cones in the Holocene age mapped by Weber and Weissman in 1978. And low-lying areas on either side of the Rio Lempa, about 40 kilometers north of San Salvador. Cerro Sintepki, also called Sintopac, lies south of the river. 2 other cinder cones, Cerro Santiago and Cerro Mosquito, lie immediately north of the river. A 4th cone is located along the Rio Gualchayo, about 10 kilometers farther north. A large group of large Pleistocene stratovolcanoes and pyroclastic cones constructed along the northwest-southeast trending faults is located west and south of Cerro Sintotepki and west of Guanzapa volcano. So we're going to look here. This is Cerro Santiago over here. And we can see some of the cinder cones along here. We'll give it a view here. You can see another one here. Now we're moving on to the next one, which is Cerro Seguro Volcanic Field. Cerro Seguro is cinder cones explosion craters. The most prominent feature of a volcanic field in the interior valley of El Salvador near the Guatemalan border, southeast of Volcan Chingo, is Cerro Seguro. This 957-meter-high scoria cone, known as El Cerrón, has a well-preserved summit crater and is part of a group of cinder cones and explosion craters mapped as Holocene in age by Weber and Weissman in 1978. A young basaltic lava flow extends to the northeast down the valley of Puebla La Presa, the headwaters of the Rio Gojoyo. The volcanic field includes a line of 3 north-northeast trending explosion craters north of the city of Chalchupa, the highest of which is 1,035 meters high, Cerro Tablas. And this is the scoria cone here. And let's see if my pegman gets a view from here. Sometimes. Nope, we have no view here. Okay, and we're moving on to the next one, which is Chinameca Volcano. Chinameca. It's also El Picayo. This is a crater here. And it's a stratovolcano in central eastern El Salvador. It lies north of San Miguel Volcano and rises over the town of Chinameca. The volcano is topped by a 2-kilometer, 1.2-mile wide caldera known as Laguna Era Mccullough, and the satellite cone on the west side, Cerro El Limbo, rises higher than the caldera rim. Fumaroles can be found on the north side, and it has been a site of geothermal exploration program. So we're going to do a 2D. And no view. Some I have views with and some I don't. The next one is Cotespec Caldera. Cotespec Caldera, the name means a snake hill. At the Snake Hill is a volcanic caldera in El Salvador in Central America. The caldera was formed during a series of minor rhyolitic explosive eruptions about 72,000 or 57,000 years ago. Since then, basaltic cinder cones and lava flows formed near the west edge of the caldera, and 6 rhyodactic dacitic lava domes have formed. The youngest dome, Cerro Pacho, was formed after 8,000 BC. And we're going to go here. We're going to, I think I'm going to go, looking for a little view here. Go over here. So we can get a view from the dock area. That is really, really pretty. You can see something's in the water there. This rock, maybe. Our next one is Conchauga Volcano. Conchauga Volcano is a stratovolcano in southeastern El Salvador, overlooking the Gulf of Fonseca. Cerro de Ocote and Cerro de la Bandera are 2 main summits, with Bandera appearing younger and more conical. There are active fumarolic areas on both peaks, but no confirmed historical eruptions. It is surrounded by forests called Bosque Conchonga. And our next one is Conchanguita. This is a volcanic island in the Gulf of Fonseca, eastern El Salvador. Keep wanting to say San Salvador. And no views on this one today. We're moving on to the next one, which is El Tigre. El Tigre is a stratovolcano. Sierra El Tigre is the highest northeast and oldest of a cluster of coalescing basaltic to basaltic andesite quaternary volcanoes between Rio Limpa and San Miguel Volcano. The summit crater of El Tigre has been destroyed by erosion, and the flanks of the volcano are deeply dissected. Two large north-northwest trending valleys, parallel to other regional fissures, cross the volcano, which lies about 7 kilometers southeast of Taba Volcano and a similar distance northeast of Usulután Volcano. Although El Tigre itself is Pleistocene in age, two young cones on its flanks were mapped as Holocene by Weber and Weissman in 1978, Cerro Oromontic and Cerro La Manita, were erupted on the western and southern flanks of El Tigre, respectively. Hang on, you guys. Respectively along a northwest-southeast trending fissure extending towards Tecapa Volcano. So this is El Tigre here. Whoops. This is El Tigre here, and then if you look, you can see smaller cones here. And our next one is Gazapa Volcano. Gazapa Volcano is a stratovolcano in central El Salvador. Gazapa Volcano is an eroded basaltic stratovolcano 23 kilometers northeast of San Salvador City. It is not known whether the Pleistocene volcano is still active. It shows signs of intense erosion that have cut deep valleys into its flanks, suggesting a very long dormancy period, and there is no crater morphology left. So you can see it's here. Our next one is Lake Leopango. And this is a crater lake which fills a scenic 8 by 11 kilometer or 72 kilometer or 28 square mile volcanic caldera in central El Salvador on the borders of San Salvador, La Paz, Cuscatlan departments. The caldera, which contains the second largest lake in the country and is immediately east of the capital city of San Salvador, has a scalloped 100 meter or 330 feet to 500 meter or 1,600 feet high rim. An eruption of the Ilopango volcano is considered a possible source for extreme weather events of 535 to 536. The local military air base, Ilopango International Airport, has annual air shows where international pilots from all over the world fly over San Salvador City and Ilopango Lake. And this is a crater lake which fills the area here. It's got a view, so let me see if I can get the spot that I had earlier. Let's go, we'll go over here and do this in 2D. I think I had this one here, so we'll go run this one. And it's a pretty lake. Oops, there we go. You can see boats. This is the lake here. Really, really pretty. Okay, guys, and our next one is Zuko Volcano. Zuko Volcano is a stratovolcano on the side of the Santa Ana Volcano, which is located in western El Salvador. It is situated on the southern flank of the Santa Ana Volcano. The Zuko erupted almost continuously from 1770 to 1958, and it earned its name of Lighthouse of the Pacific and experienced a flank eruption in 1966. During an eruption in 1926, the village of Mantazano was buried and 56 people were killed. The formation of the volcano actually occupied highly arable land on the southern slope of Santa Ana Volcano, which was used for the production of coffee, cocoa, and sugarcane. And we have a view inside the crater here, I believe. So we can get a look at what it looks like. So this is from the inside. Looks like writing on the rocks here. Let me see, I think we have another view here too. So we can see if we can get one from up on the side. This is gorgeous. You can see it's down in here. Moving on to our next one is Laguna Era Mccullough. And this is a 1 kilometer wide lake-filled mar. It occupies a low-lying area about 10 kilometers southeast of the city of San Miguel. The Pan American Highway swings around the south side of the mar immediately north of the Rio Grande de San Miguel. Laguna Era Mccullough was mapped as Holocene by Weber and Weissman in 1978, but has not been studied in detail. The low rim of the mar rises about 50 to 100 meters above the countryside and reaches only 181 meters above sea level. Spectacular pyroclastic surge deposits are exposed by quarries near the rim of the mar. So we're going to see if we have any views here. Sometimes we do, and sometimes we don't, and we don't have any on this one. So we're moving on to the next one, which is San Diego Volcanic Field. You can see we have San Diego Volcano there. An extensive volcanic field of fresh-looking basaltic cinder cones and bare lava flows near Lake Guja, which straddles the border between El Salvador and Guatemala, is named after its large feature, the 781-meter-high volcano San Diego. A large basaltic lava flow from San Diego cinder cone dammed the drainage and was responsible for the formation of Lake Guja. Volcanism is concentrated in two areas of Lake Guja, an area of volcanic cones including San Diego east of the lake and an area of small cones north of the lake near the Guatemalan border, north of the Rio Astua. None of the eruptions in San Diego volcanic field have been dated, and they estimated that the last eruption occurred within the past 1,000 years. Quaternary volcanic rocks are also located across Ladoga and Guatemala. So this is Lake Ladoga over here. And this is San Diego volcanic field here. And if we look, we can see cinder cones and other volcanic areas. And then this is Lake Ladoga here. Let's see if we can find us a view. We have one here. Maybe this would be good. Oh, okay, that's pretty. This is part of the lake here. There's another one. Let's see if we can get over here and look on this one. A dog. Okay. Next one is San Miguel Volcano. This one is nice. This is a stratovolcano in central eastern El Salvador. It's approximately 15 kilometers southwest of the city of San Miguel. On January 16, 2002, a minor eruption of steam, gas, and ash occurred from the summit crater. It lasted 3 hours and caused no real damage to life or property. Carbon dioxide emissions have been monitored since November 2001, and a steady increase continued to build up until the eruption. 11 years later, on December 29, 2013, San Miguel erupted at 10:30 local time, spewing ash and smoke into the sky, prompted evacuation of thousands of people living in a 3-kilometer radius around the volcano. It was preceded and caused by increased seismic activity beginning at 6:30 local time. And I know we got some views here, so we're going to go up here. We're going to check these 3 out. This one gives you a view of trees. You can see down into the valley here. Our next one. We're going to go over here. Now you can see we're looking down into the caldera. Don't have anything over in there. People walking up on the top there. And our next one. Let me see here. had a better one. Go over here. Oh, I think we've seen this one. Okay. Oh, interesting trees. Cat. And that's a view from the inside. No, I forgot this one. Maybe not this one. Here's another view. That's looking down in. We're moving on to the next one, which is San Miguel Volcano. I think we just looked at that one. Yeah, we did. Okay, next one is San Salvador Volcano. This is a stratovolcano situated northwest of the city of San Salvador. The crater has been nearly filled with a relatively newer edifice and Boquerón volcano. San Salvador is adjacent to the volcano, and the western section of the city actually lies among its slopes. Due to this close proximity, any geological activity of the volcano, whether eruptive or not, has the potential to result in catastrophic destruction and death to the city. Despite this, the volcano is iconic of the city, and several TV and radio antennas are situated on the El Salvador Picacho peaks and the crater of Boquerón. El Picacho, the prominent peak, is the highest elevation. It is 1,960 meters in altitude. So, this, and then we have a view for this one. So we're going to go into the crater here. Oops, you see people? This is inside of the crater. See the trails down in there. And we'll try to see if we can get another one. This one's going to be from outside. Yeah, and this is from the outside. You can see the radio stations over here. You can see how big this is. If you're looking down in here, you can see it's huge. And then the only area that we were looking at was down in here. So we'll see if we can get up on here. And then you look down in here and it's big. It looks like somebody's written on there, but this is huge. And the radio stations are up at the top there. Our next one is San Vincent Volcano. San Vincent is a stratovolcano in central El Salvador. It is located next to the town of San Vincent, hence the name, and is the second highest volcano in El Salvador. In the indigenous language Nahu, Chicantepec means the mountain of two breasts, because its double summit resembles a woman's bosom. The volcano has two craters, one located in each summit. Although not exactly at the top, dense vegetation covers both summits. Numerous hot springs and fumaroles are found on the north and western flanks of the volcano. To the northeast, at 820 meters in a ravine of 180 meters longitude, there are fumaroles, mountains of clear and muddy water, and small volcanoes of mud. The last significant eruption occurred more than 1,700 years ago. The volcano may have had a very long history of repeated and sometimes violent eruptions, and at least a large section of the volcano collapsed in a massive landslide. On August 9, 1995, Aviteca Flight 901 crashed at the volcano, killing all 65 people on board. Sad. We have no viewpoint on this one. You can see that it looks like there's houses up here. Our next one is Santa Ana Volcano. And this is a large stratovolcano located in Santa Ana Department of El Salvador. At 2,318 meters or 7,605 feet above sea level, it is the highest volcano in the country. It is located immediately west of Cotepic caldera. The volcano was an inspiration for one of the active volcanoes in Anton de Saint-Exupéry's famous French novel, The Little Prince, based on his life with the Salvadorian wife Consuela de Saint-Exupéry, who was the rose in the story. The summit of Santa Ana's features 4 nested calderas and volcanic craters, with the innermost containing a small crater lake. Collapse of the summit during the late Pleistocene produced a massive debris avalanche that reached the Pacific Ocean, forming the Acolgolta Peninsula. Subsequent eruptions have largely rebuilt the edifice. And we're going to do a view on this one. I'm going to go here. And this is towards the top with the people. And that's one. Look over here. Still got the same one. Oops. You don't want to see the people. Sorry. Okay, we're in the wrong one. Okay, there's our lake down in there. So we can see it here. And we can see how big this is. And we're moving on to the next one, Taba Volcano. And this is a stratovolcano in central El Salvador. It rises above the coastal plains between San Vincent and San Miguel volcanoes and west of Sultan Volcano. It is topped by a well-preserved 150 to 300 meter or 490 to 980 feet deep summit crater, with a true summit on the south side of the crater rim. So if we look here, we can see this is the caldera here. And this is the volcano summit here. We're moving on to the next one, Taba Volcano. We can see this as another crater here. And this is a complex stratovolcano in central El Salvador. And we have a view over here for the lake. I don't know how good it's going to be, so we're going to check. It looks like stream, and then here's the little lake. And you can see up inside. And we're moving on to the next one, which is Sultan Volcano. Well, that was something I wanted to show you. We're going to go back to the other one real quick. We have, if you can see here, the craters here. There's one here. Then you have this one. And then you have another one here. Then you have a few over here as well. So in this area. And we have another here. Okay, now we're going on to Sultan Volcano, which is over here. And Sultan is a stratovolcano in central El Salvador, rising above coastal plain between San Vincent and San Miguel, and just east of Taba Volcano. The volcano is topped by a 0.8 mile wide summit crater, which is breached to the east. And our next one is Sara Redondo. Sara Redondo is a shield volcano. Sara Redondo is a central feature in the quaternary volcanic field immediately west of Lake Guja, near the border of El Salvador. Two overlapping basaltic shield volcanoes were constructed along the north-south line west of the lake. Small lava fields capped by cinder cones and small lava domes are located east, west, and northeast of the shield volcano. Unlike in other volcanic fields in southeast Guatemala, many of the cones in this area show random orientations unrelated to no regional trends. So we see this here. There's one. We're going to tip. can see the ones here. So this one's Sara Redondo. And here. And now we're moving on to the next one, which is Masa Volcanic Field. And Masa is an eroded Pleistocene stratovolcano that lies at the northwest corner of a major bend in the Rio Limp southeast of Lake Goja. The Rio Lempa surrounds Cerro Masahut on all but the southeast side and has cut a gorge through the volcanic rocks of similar age to Masahut that cover a broad area across the river to the northeast of Lake Goja. So we can look here and see here. And this is hid here. And the next one is Sara Segul Scoria Cone. Now this is the one that's next to Sara Segul Volcanic Field. And this is the Scoria Cone here. This is a Scoria Cone, also known as El Sarang. It has a well-preserved summit crater and is part of a group of cinder cones and explosion craters mapped as Holocene in age by Weber and Weissman in 1978. A young basaltic lava flow extends to the north-northeast down the valley of the Quebrada La Presa, the headwaters of the Rio Gojo. The volcanic field includes a line of 3 north-northeast trending explosion craters north of the city of Chalchupa, the highest of which is Cerro Tablas. I don't know if we can get a street view here. No. Would be nice. Our next one is Cerro de Tablas. Cerro de Tablas, also known as Cerro La Gloria or El Amati, consists of 2 low overlapping stratovolcanoes of Pleistocene age located at the southwest corner of a major bend of the Rio Limpa, northeast of Cotapic Caldera. This Cerro de Tablas, distinct from Cerro de Tablas of the Cerro Segul volcanic field, lies at southwest end of the chain of the Pleistocene volcanoes, extending to the northeast. That includes Cerro Las Visiones, Cerro Paco, and Cerro Agua Helada. And we're moving on to the next one, which is Cerro Lalotecu. Sorry, you guys, I'm just getting over having whooping coughs, so sometimes I have little coughing fits. This is Cerro Lalotecu. And this is a broad area of quaternary volcanic rocks surrounding the town of Nueva Guadalupe, north of the northwest of Chinameca Volcano. Loma Larga, and Sierra Latique form west and south-facing escarpments, respectively, that overlook Nueva Guadalupe and the town of Chinameca. Although Pan-American highways traverse the flanks of the two escarpments, geologic studies have focused on a more dramatic neighboring volcanoes, the San Miguel Tacapa cluster, and little is known of the geologic history of this area. So there's not much known of this area here. You can see. And we're moving on to the next one, which is Cerro Yayantique. Yayantique. Yayantique? Yeah. Cerro Yayantique is located about 11 kilometers east of Laguna Era Mccullough. Sara Redondo is the most prominent and least eroded feature in a broad area of Pleistocene volcanic rocks in the southeast corner of El Salvador, west of the northwest arm of Gulf of Fonseca, mapped as Pleistocene by Weber and Weissman. Our next one is Sara Buena Vista. Cerro Buena Vista is an eroded Pleistocene stratovolcano located in the Jaron Range in the southeast corner of El Salvador. The 750-meter high volcano lies near the Pacific coast, southwest of Laguna Era Mccullough. A broad crater roughly 1 kilometer wide is breached to the west-southwest. And our next one is Sara Cacahatique. And this is a massive Pleistocene stratovolcano located in the interior valley of El Salvador, about 30 kilometers north-northeast of San Miguel Volcano. The volcano, also spelled Cerro Cacaguantique, rises 1,000 meters above its base and is deeply dissected. Although it still retains its subdued conical form, a large erosional caldera formed through a breach on the southeast side truncates its summit. So you can see this was the caldera here. And moving on to the next one. This one's an unnamed volcanic field. This is a broad area of isolated small volcanic cones of Pleistocene age and is located in eastern El Salvador near the border of Honduras, west of Rio Goscuran, and north of the city of Santa Rosa de Lima. Let's see what we can see here. Okay, and we're moving on to the next one, which is Isla Zacatillo. Isla Zacatilo lies only 2 kilometers off the east tip of El Salvador in the Gulf of Fonseca. The low, roughly 3-kilometer wide island is crudely rectangular in shape, but has a peninsula extending to the northeast. A steep escarpment truncates the western side of the island below its summit. North-northwest, south-southeast trending faults cut lava flows on the island. The smaller nearby island of Martin Perez to the southeast is also a Pleistocene age. Let me see if we have a view area here. I see some dots. I don't know, maybe we can land on these. Oh no, nope. Okay, let's do this. I see a boat thing here, I think. But here's one, so let's go over here. You can see the ocean. Not pretty. Beautiful islands made from volcanoes. Next one is Tiger Island. Tiger Island is a conical basaltic stratovolcano and the southernmost volcano in Honduras. It's also Isla El Tigre. It's a small 5-kilometer wide island located across a narrow 2-kilometer wide strait south of Isla Zacate Grande in the Gulf of Fonseca. The conical 783-meter high basaltic stratovolcano is the southernmost volcano of Honduras. El Tigre is less dissected than neighboring Zacate Grande volcano on the mainland to the north and is of a probable Holocene age. A single satellitic cone, Alvergia, overlooks the village of Ampala on the northwest flank. So we gotta look. Our next one is Isla Zacate Grande. Isla Zacate Grande volcano forms a low 7 by 10 kilometer wide island across a narrow strait from the end of the peninsula, surrounded on 3 sides by the Gulf of Fonseca and Chismayo Bay. At least 7 satellite cones, some of which form small islands offshore, are located from the northeast to the southeast base of the broad 640-meter high basaltic stratovolcano. Some of these including a symmetrical cone of the Isla Guggensi in the tidal flats about 3 kilometers east of the base of Zacate Grande, are of probable Holocene age, in contrast to neighboring Isla El Tigre volcano to the south. Zacate Grande itself is extensively eroded, and deep valleys extend from the summit ridges of the base of the volcano. And our next one is Isla Mccullough. Isla Mccullough is located in the Gulf of Fonseca, southeast of Conchiguita Island. It consists of an elongated line of three small stratovolcanoes of Pleistocene age. A north-south trending graben cuts the summits of all 3 volcanoes. A circular crater occupies the summit of the central cone, which forms the island's highest point at 493 meters. So you can see where they are here. And our next one is Sara Redondo. Sara Redondo is a broad, low-angle shield volcano located about 16 kilometers south of the capital city of Tegucigalpa. Sara Redondo is the second most prominent quaternary volcano in the central Honduran plateau. Sara Redondo was constructed at the intersection of two fracture systems and fed basaltic lava flows in all directions. The largest lava flow traveled 10 kilometers to the northeast and is now traversed over much of its length by the Carretera del Sur highway. You guys, this one is in Honduras. Our next one is Montana de Azopo. Montana de Azopo is a small basaltic shield volcano located about 20 kilometers southeast of the capital city of Tegucigalpa. It is the highest quaternary volcano in Honduras. The 20-meter-high volcano rises only 200 meters above its base and was constructed along a northeast trending line parallel to the high fault scarps bordering the Zamorano Valley. More extensive basaltic lavas were erupted at Santa Elena along the same northeast trending line. Other basaltic lavas flows were erupted further to the northeast near Joya Grande and from other parallel northeast trending faults to the east. And our next one is Cerro Gavilnotepec. Cerro Gavilnotepec. And this is a small quaternary basaltic shield volcano. It's located 10 kilometers south-southeast of Tegucigalpa. Small remnants of lava flows cap adjacent mesas. And moving on to the next one, El Pedregal. El Pedregal. And this is the lagoon over here. This is the most prominent quaternary volcano in the highlands of central Honduras. It is a low-angle basaltic shield volcano constructed on a high plateau of Miocene ignimbrites immediately west of the capital city of Tegucigalpa. A small ephemeral pond occupies a saucer-shaped summit depression. Isolated remnants of basaltic lava flows from El Pedregal, and separate vents occur over broad areas primarily to the west, but northwest near to the village of Zambrano. A small cone near Matasano produced reddish scoria during the only pyroclastic eruption in the quaternary volcanic fields near Tegucigalpa. So we can see here, this is El Pedregal. And we're moving on to the next one, which is Lake Yoja. Lake Yojoa. Lake Yajoa volcanic field consists of a group of Pleistocene to Holocene scoria cones and collapsed pits at the northwest end of the scenic north-central Honduras lake. The volcanic field has produced rocks ranging from thalessic basalts to basalts to trachyandesites and trachytes. The principal northeast trending chain of cones cuts through Cerro Babilonia, the 1,090-meter high point of the volcano field, along the same fault pattern that bounds limestone mountains bordering arcuate Lake Yajoa. Most of the pyroclastic cones consisting of basaltic scoria and agglutinate are 100 to 200 meters in height, and several contain well-preserved craters. Lava flows radiate in all directions from the cones. The longest flow traveled northward to the village of Rio Lindo, where a waterfall cascades down the terminus of the flow. A few quaternary lava flows occur in the Solu Graben along the Serra Terra del Norte, north of Lake Yajoa. So when I was looking over here, I was looking at these cones here. This one says Volcan Extinto. Then you have another one here. And you have here. And there's a few of them. Then this is Lake Yajoa here. Our next one is Utila Island. Utila Island in the Caribbean Sea off the northern coast of Honduras is the easternmost and lowest of the Bay Islands at central edge of the submarine Bartlett Trough. Utila is capped by a thin veneer of Holocene basaltic rocks at its eastern end. Basaltic lavas and tuffs were erupted into a coral-capped erosion surface. Stuart Hill, also spelled as Stuart Hill, is a pyroclastic cone that was constructed at the center of the volcanic terrain, and Pumpkin Hill is a small littoral cone located along northeast coast of the island. The highest point of the island is Pumpkin Hill, which rises only 74 meters above sea level. So we're going to look here. And we're looking. Okay, so it's here. Pumpkin Hill is over here because you got Pumpkin Hill Beach. Okay, and we're moving on to the last one, which is Cerro Calantaric. Cerro Calantaric. And this is a lava cone located 1.5 kilometers northwest of the town of Sengatepec. Southeast of Lake Yajoa is the apparent source of an outcrop of quaternary basaltic lava on a flat valley floor about 1.5 kilometers west of the town. And I'm going to post these so you can go look them up on maps. You can download the KML. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. And I'll see you on my next video.